To be fair, to be sincere, I think there's been a lot of reflections on many sides. I think it will be sad that people are trying to attribute events from the shooting at the toll gate, maybe hoping to score political points or to perhaps absolve themselves of responsibility. I think for a lot of us that were there at the toll gate, we didn't even know what was going on outside of the protest grounds, days, weeks after the shooting. For some of us, we're still in the dark in terms of, who gave the orders, what was the federal government's position. And I think, two things to say here very strongly. The statement attributed to elder statesman, Bisi Akande, where he said the ENDSARS protest, and I think I recollect him using the word obedience, was to bring down President Tinubu, I think is false. That narrative is not one that I would sit by and allow anyone to propagate. On the other hand, in my post, as you saw on Twitter, because as I said, I deal with survivor's guilt many times. There are people that walk around saying, it was a hoax, it was a green screen, they were acting. I'm sitting here in flesh, and I can recount all of the events on that day, saying it did happen. Young, innocent Nigerians were murdered in the middle of Lekki Phase 1, in the middle of a state I love, Lagos State, in the middle of a bustling metropolis where we should be attracting tourists and revealing to the world that Nigeria is indeed a place where, we have law and order. So to now characterize the events from that day and say it was targeted to bring down one man, I think is false. However, the administration today is not yet complicit, but if they choose to maintain this oath of silence that we saw from, the reaction during the Buhari's regime, where most establishment figures basically had nothing to say. Yes, I know the president didn't come out to ask questions, about, the protesters and why they were there. I mean, everybody knew why they were there, protesting to see that we had an end to extrajudicial killings, police brutality, and making sure that we could have a society where young people felt free. So again, to now, I would say, whitewash the objective of the protest as one that was political, I think is irresponsible.